Morning everyone, Treasure Troller here with just a couple of items on my mind. Not going to talk too much about the debates and all that kind of stuff because I don't know, there's not that much to talk about. But we're going to touch a little bit on politics. But the first thing is, sometimes I take a while to put these vlogs out because, I try to think of something or kind of remember something that was really big in the news, but you just haven't heard a whole lot about it lately. And I came up with something, and Trump, I think, could talk about it if he wanted to, but he hasn't. He's touched a little bit with the border wall, but have you noticed that there hasn't been any of these illegal immigrant caravans anymore? Where the news media is following these people from their trek from Guatemala up to the U.S. and then stop at the border and occupying, parks in Tijuana, getting tear gas thrown at them when they try to bum rush the border. What happened to all these? Where did they go? Maybe Trump's putting his foot down with Mexico, kind of put a stop to it. Now, I guess COVID-19 could have stopped them. I'm sure a lot of them were worried about COVID-19 as a reason to stay there and not come across or try to make the trek north. But you don't hear a whole lot about the migrant caravans anymore. That's the first thing. The second thing is, it's my last chance and hope of Hillary getting into the election, and that is the Hunter Biden laptop or hard drive. It's really not looking good as more and more, data dumps are made available. And I don't know how much of a popularity contest Kamala would win, but it's my last hope that Joe slides out and no one really cares for Kamala, the real president, the real nominee running for president, and then Hillary steps in the last couple of weeks and assumes her righteous role as the Democratic nominee for president. So I've got a little bit of time here, still crossing my fingers to make the craziest prediction ever, political prediction ever, and that Hillary would be the Democratic nominee for president. So holding out against all hope. The third thing is, last week Scott Adams, on one of his podcasts, posed a question to his audience. And the question was, 85% of the people that wore masks were diagnosed with COVID-19. And so what does that tell you? And everyone was saying, well, masks don't work, or it's not mask, it's hand washing, and it means nothing. And so Scott said, well, it means that a lot of people wear masks. And his analogy was speaking from an economist standpoint. he divided the population into three groups. One group of people always wore a mask. The second group of people, well, sometimes wore a mask. Not really sure they were all that effective, but if there was a 10 or 15% chance that they worked, well, they were going to wear it. And then the third group is, he thought was the irrational group, which was masks don't work and I'm not wearing one. So I guess I see a little bit of where he was coming from, but I really don't think his logic or his criteria was all that relevant. I mean, you could take a look at it from the standpoint of, there's either there is sort of three options: to wear it, to not wear it, to sometimes wear it. But I mean, if you were to tell people that 85% of the couples that use condoms as contraception ended up with a unplanned pregnancy, I'm sure the sales in condoms would rapidly drop, and other contraceptive methods would pick up. I mean, it's just me, but I'm kind of thinking that would happen. And there may not be an actual great analogy, because, like I said, to wear or not wear a mask, there's many other alternatives to the condom use. So I'm not sure how relevant that analogy would be. But there's also from a statistics point of view, what happens if 60% of the people are in that irrational, I'm not wearing a mask category? That only leaves 40% of the population that sometimes wear it or always wear it. So maybe it's a smaller population, of the that actually wear it, that are wearing masks at all. So I'm not really sure how relevant his theory is on this. A lot of people wearing a mask. But anyways, I think I'm going to try to delve a little bit more into this, using other analogies that are at least a little bit more in line with what Scott was saying. I think you can use it a little bit with the election when you take certain subjects or certain characteristics of the politicians. But I think there's sort of a bigger picture here. I'll talk about it later. So that's it. I'm still holding out for Hillary. I think Scott is onto something, but used the wrong analogy. And where's the caravans? Yesterday's news, I guess. Not that big of a deal for the media anymore. So that's it for now. Treasure Troller saying aloha and good day.